Alright, next thing we're going to talk about is club selection and shot selection. So, obviously on the tee box, we're most likely going to go with driver unless there is a need to lay up. In that case, we can go with 3-wood. And next we have 4 hybrid. Still, we are only able to do the normal shot. So when would you use the normal shot? Well, the normal shot is the easiest swing to execute, and in most cases is impacted by the wind more than any other shot type, and is ideally used when distance is a priority. So how do you execute the normal shot? Well, it is the largest backswing in any shot type, and to achieve the maximum distance, make sure you bring the backswing to completion before transitioning to the downswing. So we're going to show you a full normal shot here with the lob wedge. And we are playing with 9 degrees of wind, so we'll see how that affects us. Alright, you can see that here I hit it slightly fast, but it's a very high shot, and it is going to come down softly as we were hitting directly into the wind. Lob wedge 98, sand wedge 112, gap wedge 126, pitching wedge 136, 9 iron 153, 8 iron 163, 7 iron 172, 6 iron 182, 5 iron 192, 4 iron 200, 4 hybrid 220, 3-wood 248, and driver 287. Lastly, you can't forget about the putter 69. Nice. Alright, next we're going to look at the pitch shot. So what is a pitch shot? Well, the pitch shot is limited to irons and wedges, and it is used to abbreviate the backswing to keep the trajectory lower than a normal shot. So a pitch shot is less impacted by the wind while sacrificing distance. So you see our pitch shot is not going as far, but our trajectory will go a little bit lower, and it will allow us to compensate for that wind. The wind still affected it, but it was not affected as much as the normal shot. With the lob wedge, we have a carry of 66 yards, sand wedge 75, gap wedge 86, pitching wedge 96, 9 iron 109, 8 iron 118, 7 iron 127, 6 iron 137, and 5 iron 147. So a wide range here with the pitch shot. Alright, next is the chip shot. So what is a chip shot? The chip shot is the shortest of the approach shots and is most safe and effective when used around the fringe of the green as a way to guide the ball near the hole. So it's almost kind of like a putt. When would you use this? You can either chip high to lob the ball onto the green from a short range when you have a clean look at the pin, or alternatively, give it a little bump and run to roll it up the hole from the fringe. Alright, so we're going to chip this right into Mr. Squirrel here. Nice catch, dude. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the different clubs that are in the chipping range. So we have the lob wedge, which in my case, now this is going to change with whatever clubs you have. If you have the same clubs as me, they should be the same. But chipping with the lob wedge, we have a 7-yard carry, 8 yards with the sand wedge, 9 yards with the gap wedge, 9 yards with the pitching, 12 yards with the 9 iron, 12 yards with the 8 iron, 13 yards with the 7 iron, 14 yards with the 6 iron, and 15 yards with the 5 iron. So I'm going to give you an example of the high end range of this chip with the 5 iron, and you'll see that this is going to really roll. So we're just getting it started, just bumping and running, and it's got a pretty good roll out there. So you see the total distance was 31, so it rolled just as far as it carried. Alright, so we have to go all the way down to 8 iron to get another shot selection. So we have normal, chip, splash, which is a new one, and then of course pitch. So we're going to look at the splash shot. So what is a splash shot? Well, the splash shot type uses a full backswing, but its intent is to keep the ball on a low flight trajectory while still achieving good distance. So when would you use this? This shot is particularly useful when hitting long into a strong headwind, as it helps cut through the breeze or when hitting back onto the fairway from under the trees. Alright, so the splash shot we see here carries only 23 yards, and you can see that the trajectory is, as I said earlier, a little bit higher and should cut right through this wind. And there's a pretty decent shot, just pulled it really hard. 23 yards with the lob wedge, 28 with the sand wedge, 33 gap wedge, 39 pitching wedge, 47 9 iron, and 53 8 iron. Alright, in order to get to our next shot type, we have to go down to pitching wedge. So again, we have normal, chip, splash, and now flop. And obviously we also have pitch as well. So we're going to take a look at the flop shot. What is a flop shot? Well, it is a very risky but highly rewarding shot in golf. It generates much loft and backspin, making for an exquisite approach shot that stops quickly. So we're going to give you an example here. This is going to be real interesting into the wind, and even so, we're going to add loft and attack angle. Alright, as you can see there, it stopped fairly quickly. The lob wedge, we have a carry of 44 yards. We can bump that up to 47 with the sand wedge, 51 with the gap wedge, 55 with the pitching wedge. Alright guys, that is all the shot types explained and how to play each one. I hope that helped a lot, and if you have any more questions, just leave them down below. I'll answer them as quickly as possible and get on with the next video. Thanks for watching. See ya!